The first item on the agenda would be public input. Mr. Damon.
A while back, we talked about some sort of insurance card to help people with their medical expenses. It's available through the county.
For dental?
For dental. I thought there was one for health, too.
There's one for health, yes.
Who's the person to talk to about that? And it sounds like a good thing for people to know.
We have cards available.
Right.
They are out at different doctors' offices.
Okay.
Talk with Lori downstairs. I think she mailed them out. There are some sitting down there on the table just outside the door.
But is there anybody in the county who's kind of in charge of overseeing this project? Or is it, where did it come from?
Came from the National Association of Counties.
Okay.
Yep. The dental one was piloted by a county in New Hampshire, and the national, I can't remember what, it's either Rockingham or Hillsborough. I think it's Hillsborough. And it was piloted here, and it worked very efficiently. I haven't seen the list of dentists that have to agree to the card. It's a little bit different in that the resident would have to pay something like $69 for a family plan. So that's in the works. We need to find out what dentists here in Carroll County would accept that. But it would be a savings of 5 to 50% on different procedures at the dental office. Depends on what the procedure is. Any further comment? Mr. Babson?
Yes, I'd like you to ask Commissioner Kenny if she received my email of last Thursday afternoon about 4 o'clock. It was addressed to the new commissioner's email address.
No, I didn't receive it.
Pardon me?
No, I didn't receive it. What was it all about?
Well, I'll take that up in a second, but I thought the purpose of this email address was to get information to the commissioners.
Mm-hmm. Did you send it
Can
to
you
her?
access it from home? Or
did you send it to her home,
no,
or did you
I
send
don't.
it to the office?
Mr. Rich from Cyberdron was going to put up a computer in the office.
It's there.
It's there.
Oh, it's all right. Oh, okay. So when is it there?
It's
The
been there.
computer?
It's been there for a week.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was available.
Well,
I'll
he put
read
it
the-
up probably Wednesday when I left then.
It was-
because I didn't.
It was
see
available last Wednesday, because you got on it last Wednesday.
Yes.
I didn't see it.
Before the meeting started. Commissioner
Well,
Solomon.
So
Give
I
you a
will
copy
check.
of the
I will
email,
check in
and
that
I'll read
email
it
today. Oh, you have a copy. Wonderful.
It was pointed out to you.
Dear Commissioner Kenny, as a taxpayer and an individual interested in county government, I would like to know why you did not feel it important to attend yesterday's open administrative hearing dealing with Mr. Perry. I assume that you did not have a conflict since you passed me in the hall about 2 minutes before the hearing was slated to start. Is there or was there not a possibility that at some time in the future you might be called upon to vote on something to do with this grievance, even though you were clearly excluded from Mr. Perry's claims? I look forward to your response and hope that you had a good reason for not attending.
Yes, I did.
And what was that?
There was a grievance filed. It was clearly stated it was about the conduct of the two commissioners. He wanted to know why he didn't get an investigation and which rules or policy or laws that he violated. That part he wants to be public. This was set up without my knowledge. I had to read in the paper. There was going to be a public hearing at 2 o'clock. I was not consulted, and there was going to be an attorney there. Attorney was
So what was
hired.
your reason for not coming?
Because I don't want to get involved in railroading the employee. Because this was clearly a setup. If you see the paper, everything about this guy, they're going to talk about him. They're not going to look into the grievance file, what the commissioners did wrong. And they never notified me that they're going to get an attorney. Because you hear what the chairman said last week, he has all the authority to hire an attorney. And when I was in the hall there talking with the attorney, he already sent out rules and regulations. The paper was notified that week before on Friday. They were invited. flyers were given out. Commissioner Kenny was not informed. So I don't want to be part of this. I thought it was ridiculous, the setup.
Well, I understand that, Commissioner Kenny, but I believe you were elected by the voters to help manage this county. And I don't
Yes.
see how you can manage it by not being here.
I still can. Because I refuse to get involved in something steep-low like that, what you were trying to do with the employee.
Well, the way to protest that is to come and know what's going on, find out what's going on, and vote no if that's the case.
But that is
Now,
what I
it went
did.
from excuse me, let me finish. It went from an open meeting to a non-public meeting, and as we all know over the years, if you've been here, that the minutes aren't always accurate, and how do you propose to know what's going on in a non-public meeting if you don't show up?
I assume it was taped. I will get a tape recording.
Pardon me?
I assume it was taped.
Non-public's not taped.
Non-public isn't taped, and the minutes are sealed from the public, you get to see them, but they're not always accurate. So how do you know what went on in that meeting if you weren't here? You weren't doing your job as far as I'm concerned, and that's my own personal opinion.
Yeah, that is your opinion. And
Yes, it
Mr.
is.
Babson, sometimes there are meetings going on and not all the commissioners are present and it was be non-public. So I don't know why you're making a big hype of it.
Because I don't think you did your job. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That is your opinion.
Thank you.
What meetings go on? What meetings do we have that? I don't understand her statement.
Whose statement?
Commissioner Kenny's statement that meetings go on that she's not involved in. I don't understand that.
What are you
were
talking
called
about?
and a message was left on your phone that there would be a public hearing at 2 o'clock. I called you. I left a message. Now, whether you got it or not, I'm not sure.
No, I didn't get any message
Okay.
from you. I don't think you left a message. Because I read it in the
Well,
paper, like I said.
Okay.
Nobody informed me.
Go ahead.
Yes, I
Finish.
have a couple questions myself. Are you finished?
Yeah.
Okay.
For now.
Commissioner Kenny, in last week's meeting, we discussed that last year's contract stipulated that Cybertron would charge a fee for each new PC that was installed, to which you replied, quote, "It was ridiculous. I've never heard of such a thing," unquote. Can you please tell me how many IT contracts that you've ever negotiated?
How many IT contracts I talked to IT companies and I asked them
My
about it.
question is, how many IT contracts have you negotiated?
Why you ask the questions like that?
Yeah, could you just answer
Can I-
the question? Just answer the question.
You
yes or
told
no.
me it was ridiculous. I'm asking you how many IT contracts you have negotiated.
You did charge a couple $1,000s.
Yes, but
Whether
that is not,
it's in
that is not
March,
thousands of
whether it's
thousands.
in March or February, March, no
Okay.
one is charging a fee of $300.
Actually, whether it's in February, March, or in actually December
I
of
read
the
it-
prior
I read
year,
it
it does
in
make a
March.
All right,
difference.
all right. We're going to cut
Yeah.
off the
I read
conversation.
that information in March.
Okay, Mr. Brown, you haven't had a chance yet. Go ahead.
Can you tell me when the vote was taken to hire the attorney?
Which attorney?
The attorney from last week?
It was taken during regular meeting,
It was, and what meeting was that?
last week's meeting, in the regular session.
That was after the attorney. When was the vote taken to initially hire the attorney?
Was not.
What, that vote last week, the attorney had already been hired.
The attorney
I'd like
was
to
scheduled
know-
to be here, and I had to get permission from the board to hire that attorney and pay for that attorney.
But
I
you
told you
stated
at
that
the
you
beginning
had
of the meeting.
authority.
I said at the beginning of the meeting, we would take action on it, which we did. It shows up in our minutes. We approved that person to be the counsel for that administrative hearing.
The meeting before that, you said you had the authority as chair.
Not the meeting before that, no. We
Yeah.
talked about that all last week.
The week before.
No,
Yes, you said you had the authority as chair.
That was last
The only authority you have as chair is to run the meeting and help set the agenda. So I'd
Okay.
like to know when the vote was originally, when that attorney was called, there had to have been a vote taken prior to that attorney being called. And I want to know when that vote was taken prior to that attorney, the phone call to have that attorney attend last week's meeting.
Last Saturday, I had the opportunity to view Ed's website. And I have a comment to the board. Chairman, you were giving a presentation, public presentation in regards to Sandy retiring. To see that a member of the commission was sitting there texting during that presentation, I think is unprofessional and nothing short of an insult to both you and your position, and Sandy as the retiring administrator. So I'd like to think maybe you could address that, maybe not have cell phones at the head of the table.
All right. Thank you for your...
So I think your comment disturbed me.
You were
So
texting?
you saw me texting?
Yes, I just think that your actions was unprofessional,
Yeah,
Commissioner.
well, I don't think I was texting. Maybe
Yes,
I was
you were.
looking at my phone.
Yes, you were. I saw you typing, actually, so I just wanted to...
Maybe there was an emergency, because I didn't see you.
It's an emergency.
Oh, thank you for your comment.
Yes.
That's not the first time we've heard that. Thank you very much. Okay. Damon?
I just wanted to see if I could ask Rob about the cost of food. I know with the drought affecting the nation, the price of food is supposed to go way up, and I just want to know if Rob's preparing for that.
I watch it so closely, and we use a computerized food production system. So as I watch the weekly prices from Cisco, I can go in and make menu changes where I need to. So we haven't seen a huge impact right now, just for some specific items. But they're claiming, that there's going to be higher beef prices, and looking at probably 5 to 6% inflation for next year. And that sounds conservative when you look at it's the drought issue that has us most concerned with, what the outcome will be for crops, etc. And it's just the ripple effect is
Okay.
significant.
Thank you, Rob.
But
We have next...
We're still within budget.
Were you all through?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So we have 2 items listed on the agenda. Chip Albee, you're on next.
Yeah, I came here as chairman of the Friends of Mountain View. It's the nonprofit, and we had pledged a couple of $1,000 to the commission for the building of a walking path that will benefit both the employees of Mountain View Nursing Home as well as the residents. It's Maureen Spencer's the vice chair. It's Sandy McKenzie, who's really active in the nonprofit as well, just left.
I did get a letter, we did get a letter from Mr. Litchko saying that this would take place. It came after last week's meeting, so that's why it
I
wasn't on
just
the
got to
agenda.
check this morning. And we've been, and you were at a meeting and a walk around with the Cooperative Extension.
Right.
They're in the process of designing the trail.
Right,
So hopefully we'll get something done this fall, at least to start on it.
okay.
And there's also money, I believe that Primex has pledged to this.
Right, 2,000.
So
Yeah.
we've got a $4,000 budget for that.
Yep. I guess on behalf of the board, I'd like to thank the Friends of Mountain View for the contribution of $2,000 towards the walking trail.
I want to thank you folks for inviting us here today. Adam Mitchell, myself is Lawrence Ayers, Larry. We're here to present to you a proposal for the retired nursing home that you folks have on this beautiful property here. And we have a little bit of information for you that I hope you can help us with a decision whether to carry on with this situation. It's very important to me as commander of the American Legion out of Conway. We have a lot of interest in homeless people, and I think that building would be a perfect spot for that situation.
Are you talking about VA homeless, or are you talking about any homeless?
Any homeless.
Okay.
Any person whatsoever needed in our state of New Hampshire, actually. Not just Carroll County, but Carroll County and beyond is really in a bad way. for homeless people. As of now, as of July 25th, I believe it was, I had 17 veterans alone in need of housing. We have people in Manchester and Tilton living out of tents on the front lawn of the homeless shelters because there's no room for them. And it's really important to myself and as a Legion itself that we take care of these people. Myself and Adam have tried twice to present to do different locations, building properties, and for one reason or another, through the Registry of Deeds, our post in Conway would not allow it because the deed said the property that we had that's not in use was committed to the young children and need a ball field or what have you for functions.
Yep.
So that guy botched that. We went to Meredith. We proposed to them. They had 42 acres down there that was available. Unfortunately, their finances didn't mix with ours, what we needed to build the proper buildings through government grants and federal grants that we're working on as we speak to build these buildings.
Part of the problem is there's a lot of people applying for grants. The government let out $28 million for grants for shelters last year. $28 million.
28 million.
They spent $900 million on toilet seats. They gave up $28 million for our veterans. Sorry, I can do math, it doesn't work out right.
Yeah. The bottom line, Ed?
I have a comment and a suggestion. My comment is, first, I praise you for your work, but I'm kind of disgusted we even have to have this conversation in this manner. And I didn't hear one single group of people that are mentioned who should be paying for this. And that's all the U.S. congressmen that voted to go to war. You should contact them personally, and every one of them who voted for the wars and upcoming war should reach into their pocket and pay for it themselves.
A nice idea.
That's my comment
Thank
and
you.
suggestion.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good luck.